The phone buzzes against the polished mahogany conference table at exactly 2:47 p.m. I know before my eyes even flick toward the screen that it's him. Sterling Clark has never believed in appropriate timing. The boardroom hums around me, voices dissecting quarterly forecasts and audit timelines. But my focus tunnels toward the illuminated notification. You are an embarrassment. I'm cutting you out of the will. Do not reach out again. Speak to my attorney. I read it once, twice, a third time. The words stay the same. My fingers move before my mind processes. I type a single response and hit send. Understood. Mr. Henderson is mid-analysis of the Peterson numbers. What? When I shut my laptop with a controlled click, he hesitates, his thick eyebrows twitching upward, but I'm already rising from my seat. Excuse me, I say. My voice is steady, level, as if my father didn't just disinherit me by text message in the middle of a Wednesday meeting. I don't run to my office a walk, heels tapping against the glossy floors. Each step intentional, precise. The door closes behind me with a muted thud, and I slide into my chair, lifting my laptop again. My hands move without conscious thought. They've logged into this banking dashboard hundreds of times, checking balances, tracking statements, making sure recurring payments post on time. The mortgage account comes up first. Then I see it. Personal loan request. Status, pending disbursement. Amount, $50,000. My name. My social security number. My forged signature awkward and sloppy enough to make a junior auditor cringe. He didn't even try to mimic the tilt of my handwriting. I grab my office phone and dial the number I've memorized. First National Bank, Fraud Department. This is Kevin. This is Addison Clark. Account ending in 478229-163. I'm filing an identity theft affidavit. I need every account frozen immediately. This isn't a raw family fraud. Kevin's tone shifts root and replaced with alert precision. Can you confirm your date of birth and last four of your SSN? I recite the details while opening my personal finance ledger. The spreadsheet loads, and there it is. 5 years of payments, lined in perfect order. $3,200. Every single month, 60 deposits. $192,000 total. For the lake house. Grandmother's lake house. The one she left to all of us. The one my parents insisted would be mine someday. Just keep paying the mortgage, Addison. We'll sign over the deed when we retire. You'll have your refuge. You're calm. Except I haven't been allowed to step foot on the property in half a year. Airbnb bookings, my mother said. Can't disturb paying guests. Sorry, sweetheart. Maybe next month. The doctored property tax statements arrive like clockwork. I've kept them all. Filed them chronologically, because that's who I am. Responsible. Reliable. The Rock. The family ATM. A memory pushes forward. I'm 16 again, standing in our kitchen clutching 2 paychecks. One from the grocery store. One from tutoring algebra. My father's hand lands on my shoulder, warm and proud. Addison understands duty, he told my mother. She's helping cover Preston's tuition. She knows what family means. Preston. Golden Boy Preston, whose grades never quite made the scholarship cut. Preston, who now drives a BMW he can't afford and lives in a condo that's always between new opportunities. Kevin is still talking, verifying the fraud report, outlining next steps. I murmur acknowledgement while pulling up my email. A new message sits near the top, dated 2 days ago. Sender, Tina, my neighbor. Subject FWDRA cam from Tuesday night. The video plays. My parents' front porch. Evening shadows stretching long. My father stands with a cigar, smoke drifting upward. My mother steps beside him, swirling wine in her glass. Their voices are unmistakable. Addison is nothing but an ATM, Sterling says, flicking ash into the planter. She's so desperate for approval, she'd pay for oxygen. My mother laughs. Actually laughs. Good thing she bought the Airbnb story. If she knew we sold the lake house to the Millers 6 months ago to cover Preston's gambling debt, she'd cut us off. The clip ends. I don't move. My palms rest flat on the desk, fingers spread. My office is silent except for the faint hum of electronics and distant hallway chatter. I'm not unloved. I'm exploited, and that difference matters. Love is messy, tangled, often cruel in ways without metrics. But fraud? Fraud comes with evidence, with numbers, with statutes. Fraud is actionable. I open my forensic accounting software, the same platform I use to unravel money laundering webs and internal embezzlement. My hands hover briefly, then begin typing. Sterling Clark. Affiliated parties. Financial behavior. The initial search populates instantly. Shell entities. Suspicious transfers. Patterns that scream misconduct even at a glance. My phone lights again. Another text from Sterling. Your mother is distressed. You've always been ungrateful. I don't respond. I screenshot it instead and slide it into a fresh desktop folder. Label. Evidence. Then I lean back and whisper to the empty room, let's see what else you've buried. The office is dim, except for the glow of my 3 monitors. It's 2:47 a.m., because I've been watching the clock in the corner advance minute by minute. Each one another transaction reviewed. Another thread unraveled. My coffee died hours ago. I don't notice. The forensic program hums steadily, parsing the data I've loaded. Sterling's accounts. Preston's accounts, transfers, withdrawals, deposits, the same tools I used to catch corporate criminals now pointed inward at my own blood. The pattern doesn't appear all at once. It forms gradually, then crystallizes in an instant. Preston's checking account receives deposits every other week. Always cash. Always between 10,000 yuan and $9,800, never above $10,000, because $10,000 triggers automatic IRS reporting. And whoever taught Preston about smurfing clearly understood the system. I open my calculator. 18 months of deposits. The total punches me in the gut. Shutiwan. I capture everything. Every deposit gets its own screenshot, each file named with the precise date and amount. My hands move on reflex skills from 10 years of dismantling schemes dreamed up by people who believed they were unstoppable. Next, the wire transfers. Sterling's business account shows routine payments to an entity called Sterling Consulting Group, LLC, filed in Delaware. I run a corporation lookup, and the listed address blinks onto the screen. 11247 Industrial Parkway, Wilmington, Delaware? I switch tabs and pull up satellite imaging. The map loads slowly, blurring before sharpening into focus. A rundown strip mall, peeling awnings, a weather-beaten parking lot, and tucked into the corner of a building that looks like it aged through 3 presidencies, a rusted P.O. Box storefront. Sterling Consulting Group isn't an office. It isn't a business. It's a name on a state form existing solely to absorb wire transfers and siphon money into routes I haven't uncovered yet. I open another tab. The Veterans Memorial Fund publishes quarterly financials publicly. I download every report from the last 2 years and begin matching the timelines. Wire withdrawal from Veterans Memorial Fund checking. March 15, 2024, $8,500. Cash deposit into Preston's account. March 18, 2024, $9,200. My jaw tightens. Wire withdrawal from Veterans Memorial Fund. July 22, 2024, $12,000. Cash deposit into Preston's account. July 25, 2024, $9,800. Cash deposit into Preston's account. July 26, 2024, $2,100. They broke the larger transactions into smaller, unremarkable amounts, smurfing them underneath reporting thresholds. And every single dollar leads straight back to withdrawals from a charitable fund designed for disabled veterans. I open a new sheet. 3 columns. Date, Veterans Fund withdrawal, Preston deposit. The pattern is flawless. 19 instances across 18 months. The anger I've been swallowing since yesterday sharpens into something colder, something edged. This stopped being a family issue hours ago. It's criminal. I back up everything to my encrypted cloud drive. Then I clone the files onto 2 external hard drives. One goes into my office safe, the other into my gym bag where it will stay on my person until this ends. By morning, my phone buzzes at 8:15 a.m. I'm still at my desk, still wearing the same clothes as yesterday. The caller ID flashes, Mr. Henderson. Addison, can you spare a moment? His tone is cautious. Concern threaded through authority. I wonder what expression I wore when I fled the board meeting yesterday. I'm in my office. Good. Come see me when you're ready. I stop in the restroom first. My reflection shows circles under my eyes and braids slipping loose. But my gaze is steady, focused. I smooth my blouse and head to Henderson's corner office. He's by the window, coffee mug in hand. When I enter, the morning sunlight touches his silver hair, and his expression shifts, not just worried now, but sharply attentive. Close the door, he says. Do. Addison, I'll be frank. You left that meeting like you'd been struck. Then I received an email from your bank's fraud department this morning, copied to you confirming an identity theft inquiry. Do you want our legal team looped in? It doesn't surprise me that he's already checked. Henderson didn't build this firm on missed details. Not yet, I say. But I may need time off soon. It's a family situation, but it involves federal wire fraud across state lines. His eyebrows lift. Federal? Yes, sir. He sets his coffee down and leans against the desk. Take whatever time you need. We'll support you. And Addison, if you need attorneys who specialize in this area, I can recommend 3. Some of the tightness in my chest loosens. Thank you. One more thing. He pulls a card from his pocket. Ellen Kowalski, bank fraud investigator I worked with on the Brennan case. She owes me a favor, and she's excellent. Tell her I sent you. I take the card. Relief flares a dangerous feeling, fragile if I look at it too closely. My phone rings again, at 11:30 a.m. Unknown number. I answer, Addison, stop this madness. My mother's voice, frantic and cracking. Your father only signed your name because he knew you'd agree. We're family. You need to unfreeze these accounts immediately. I press record on my phone's voice memo. Forging a signature for a loan is a felony, Meredith. My voice sounds distant, controlled, and since you've now admitted on this recorded call that you knew about the house sale and the fraud, you're an accessory. Save the dramatics for court. I hang up. A voicemail hits my screen 3 seconds later. I save it to the evidence folder. Timestamp intact. The loan rejection comes through at exactly 2 p.m. First National Bank's email includes a fraud alert notation 1 that will shadow Sterling's credit history for the next 7 years. At 4:30 p.m., Preston texts me, just 3 words. This isn't over. I screenshot it and add it to the archive. When I finally leave the office at 6 p.m., every shared account Sterling and I ever opened is frozen pending investigation. His credit cards are being declined all over Chicago. Meredith can't access the checking account she's relied on for 2 decades. And I'm so mentally drained I barely remember how to operate my car. But the spreadsheet is finished. The case file is backed up in 3 different places. And tomorrow, I'll keep digging until I've traced every stolen dollar. Every fabricated loan, every crime they committed while assuming blood ties would keep me quiet. They taught me bookkeeping. Now I'll teach them consequences. Preston's voicemail reaches the firm at 9:02 to 3 a.m. on Thursday. I'm reviewing a client's expense reports when Mr. Lepinator's Henderson's assistant peers in my doorway, already tightening her features. Mr. Henderson needs to see you, she says softly. Now, the walk to his office feels twice as long as usual. My heels tap the floor in a rhythm that matches my accelerating pulse. Henderson sits behind his desk, unreadable, and motions for me to sit. Close the door, please. I do. He clicks his mouse, and Preston's voice fills the room, rambling, agitated, slurred. The accusations spill out so quickly they nearly trip over each other. My sister is having a complete mental breakdown. She's hooked on prescription pills. We have proof she's been stealing from client accounts. We need to meet with management before she hurts someone or herself. This is a family intervention. She's unstable. The message ends. A thick, brittle silence follows. Henderson leans back, fingers pressed together beneath his chin. His eyes, sharp behind thin metal frames, stay locked on mine. Do you need our legal department to handle this defamation, Addison? My hands rest calmly on the chair. No, sir. I'd rather let the FBI address it. Something flickers in his expression, not shock, but recognition, as though I've confirmed what he suspected. I figured you might say that. He saves the recording, swivels his monitor toward me. I'm copying it to your personal drive. Document everything. And Addison, take time if you need it. The partners have been informed. Your standing here is impeccable. I rise, legs steady beneath me. Thank you, sir. One more thing.
Act.
He taps a finger on his desk calendar. Your brother left a callback number. I thought you might want it for your FBI file. I almost smile. Okay. Almost. Back at my desk, I add Preston's voicemail to the evidence folder. Timestamp. Callback number. Exact phrasing. All cataloged with the precision I'd use on any financial crimes case. My phone rings at 11:47 a.m. Unknown number. I answer, Addison? It's Aunt Linda. I haven't heard her voice in 10 years, not since grandmother's funeral. When she cornered me beside the punch bowl to criticize the centerpieces. Hello, Linda. I've been hearing such upsetting things about your father, she begins, syrupy and practiced. I think there's been a terrible misunderstanding. You need to be the bigger person, sweetheart. You're damaging your father's reputation over money. Family protects family. As she talks, I open my laptop and navigate through the folders I built when I first began dissecting Sterling's finances. Linda drones on concern, lacquered over manipulation. Your mother is distraught. Preston says you froze their accounts. Over what? A misunderstanding about a loan. Surely we can sit down and resolve this. I find the file. Open it. Attach it to an email already addressed to her. Check your inbox, Linda. She stops mid-sentence. What? I sent you a PDF. It's a copy of a check Dad wrote 3 years ago. He cashed out your son's college savings bond, the one Grandma left him. He forged your signature to do it. Used the money to renew his country club membership. Oh, wait. Silence stretches so long, I pull the phone back to see if the call dropped. The bond was worth $12,000. I continue evenly. The club charged $11,200. He deposited the rest into Preston's account. I have the documentation if you want to verify with your bank. She says nothing. Not a sound. You might want to check on your mother's jewelry too. The pieces she left you, some interesting pawn shop receipts appear in the same time frame. The line disconnects. I save the call log. Note the duration. Add it to the folder, my email pings. Henderson has sent a firm-wide memo to all partners, titled Personnel Matter, Informational Only. I skim it, professional, measured. A brief explanation that a staff member is dealing with family-related fraud. False allegations have been made, and the firm is offering full support. No names, but anyone paying attention will connect the dots, replies Porin. Colleagues offering attorney referrals. A senior accountant sharing her own experience with family exploitation. Another sending contact info for a bank investigator specializing in identity theft by 2 p.m. My accountant friend Sarah has called twice. On her second attempt, I pick up. I heard the rumors, she says. Family fraud case. Listeneve testified as an expert in 3 of these. If you need help with documentation or someone to translate the forensics for law enforcement, I'm here. Thank you. I mean it, Addison. These cases are winnable. And with your skill set, they targeted the wrong person. The bank investigator's email arrives at 3:23 p.m. Subject, FBI Financial Crimes Unit contact. Inside, a name. Agent Miller. A direct number. A note explaining my situation fits criteria for federal wire fraud prosecution. I draft a reply but hold off sending. One more comparison to run. The Veterans Memorial Fund's filings are public, something I've known for weeks. What I haven't done is place their reporting side by side with Sterling's personal account. Activity. I do that now. The wire transfers appear like breadcrumbs, small, staggered, always, just beneath required reporting thresholds. From the fund to Sterling Consulting Group, the hollow LLC with the rusted mailbox. From there, the split. Some to Preston, some covering Sterling's expenses, all stolen from donations for disabled veterans. I total everything. $85,000 across 2 years. My hands stay steady as I build the timeline. Transaction dates. Routing numbers. The fund's public promises to support injured soldiers while Sterling funneled their money into his son's gambling problem. At 4:15 p.m., the family lawyer's cease and desist arrives. I read it once. The threats are predictable. Retract accusations. Pay $150,000 in damages. Stop harassing the family or face litigation. I laugh. A real laugh. Sharpen the quiet of my office. Then I update my FBI documentation folder with a new section. Veterans Fund Theft. Wire fraud. Federal crimes, not family drama. The file is complete now. Every transfer traced. Every lie nailed down. Every theft proven beyond question. I email Agent Miller requesting a meeting. No attachments yet, just a professional inquiry regarding potential federal fraud charges. He responds in under 20 minutes. Tomorrow morning. 9 a.m. FBI field office, downtown. I print every page of evidence. Organize them chronologically. Label each section meticulously. I slide them into a manila folder and write across the tab, Sterling Clark, wire fraud, identity theft, Veterans Fund embezzlement. The office empties as the sun lowers. Shadows drifting across my desk. I sit with the folder in front of me. Tomorrow, FBI. No turning back. I close my eyes and picture grandmother's lake house, the real one. From before it was sold to cover Preston's debts. The dock where I drank morning coffee, where sunrise touched the water like liquid gold. A silence that felt like healing instead of exile. They stole that. But they made one fatal mistake. They stole from veterans. People who sacrificed everything. People juries listen to. People federal prosecutors defend. I open my eyes. Slide the folder into my briefcase. Tomorrow. The human ATM stops dispensing cash and starts collecting. The next day. Agent Miller closes the folder and meets my gaze across the metal desk. 3 hours have passed. My coffee is cold. The government-issued fluorescents hum overhead. This is federal wire fraud with aggravators, he says evenly. The Veterans Fund increases priority. I hand him the encrypted drives. Both of them identical copies. 5 years of records. Shell companies. Wire confirmations. Forged documents. The sort of material prosecutors salivate over? We'll open a formal investigation within 48 hours, Miller says. He looks younger up close, maybe 40. But his eyes carry the same exhaustion. I've seen in every agent who deals with families going to war over money. Your family may escalate when they sense what's coming. I almost laugh. They've already cut me off. And tried to take out a loan in my name. How much worse can it get? He doesn't smile. You'd be surprised. 2 days later, I learned exactly what he meant. I'm reviewing the Patterson account when my phone begins vibrating non-stop. Not 1 or 2 notifications in avalanche. I open my messages, 47 unread texts from numbers I don't recognize. Then I open Nextdoor. Preston's post is pinned at the top. Comment count exploding. Timestamp. 20 minutes ago, my sister Addison is spreading lies about our family. She's claiming money is missing from the Veterans Memorial Fund, but she's just bitter about being cut out of Dad's will. The $85,000 she mentions was a temporary loan during a difficult time. We plan to repay it next month. She's twisting a private matter to ruin Dad's reputation. Don't believe her. I read it twice. Pulse steady. Hands still, he confessed. In writing. On a public forum. Are you kidding me? I screenshot everything before Preston gets the chance to delete it. Then I watch dozens of neighbors do the exact same thing. His post spreads through our suburb like a spark dropped in dry brush. My phone rings. "Mr. Henderson, have you seen next door?" he asks. "Watching Preston bury himself in real time," I reply. "Good. I forwarded it to legal. They confirm this is written evidence of embezzlement." Pause. "Also, Sterling is at the country club right now. You might want to check your ring groups." I don't wait. The first video pops up within minutes, posted by Jennifer Morrison with the caption, "When keeping it real goes wrong." The footage shows Sterling marching toward the club entrance. Shoulders squared, chin angled upward in that practiced arrogance. The manager intercepts him at the door. I can't hear the words, but I watch Sterling's expression crumble when his membership card is declined. His mouth moves, angry, animated. "Do you know who I am?" Security appears. Two men in polos step beside him, guiding him toward the exit while he continues to posture. The camera follows his walk of shame through the dining room. Phones come out. Faces stare. It's a spectacle. A second video appears, new angle. This one with audio. "This is outrageous." Sterling's voice echoes. "I've been a member for 20 years. The board received concerning reports this morning," the manager says, entirely calm. "Your membership is suspended pending investigation." I close my laptop and lean back. The board wasted no time. My phone buzzes again. A news alert. Local station WMAQ, North Shore nonprofit, under investigation. Allegations of embezzlement from the Veterans Memorial Fund? It's short, it's careful. But Sterling's name is right there, suspended treasurer. The board president is quoted, "We take these allegations extremely seriously and are cooperating fully with authorities." Within an hour, it's on 3 more news sites. My inbox fills, support, disbelief, nosy questions. I ignore them and continue watching the pattern unfold exactly as I built it. Preston's confession post is now in 4 Facebook groups. The country club videos hit 73,000 views. The Veterans Fund story trends locally on Twitter. The trap is snapping shut. Every step falling into place like numbers in a ledger. By evening, the family fractures loudly. Publicly, without me lifting a finger, another ring video comes in. Meredith on the porch, staring at a utility shutoff notice. Her hands tremble. She grabs her phone, checks their bank accounts, and her face drains of color. She doesn't know yet about the wall safe, but the suspicion is blooming. An hour later, another video. Preston's car in the driveway. Their argument bleeds through the audio. "You got caught because you were sloppy." Preston shrieks, "I wouldn't have touched the fund if you didn't have a gambling problem." Sterling yells back. My mother snaps, "Both of you shut up. Do you understand what Addison has done? Everything is frozen. I save all of it. Evidence folder, updated." Then the message I've been waiting for appears. Subject, search warrant approved. Agent Miller, execution at 6 a.m. recommend staying clear. I'll be nowhere near my parents. House when the FBI shows up. I'll be here. Where I belong? Collecting data. Watching patterns. Letting the truth do what it always does, dash surface. My phone buzzes one last time. A text from Meredith. "Please, Addison. We can fix this." "We're family," I don't answer. Instead, I pull up the federal indictment draft Miller sent earlier. 3 defendants, for charges each. Wire fraud, embezzlement, identity theft, conspiracy. The precision is immaculate. Every theft, every lie, every manipulation pinned down like insects beneath glass. I close my laptop and look out the window as the city turns gold with sunset. Somewhere across town, my family is in free fall, blaming, scrambling, panicking over money that never existed. Realizing the walking ATM has locked her keypad for good, tomorrow morning, federal agents will knock. By afternoon, boxes of evidence will roll out in front of neighbors. By evening, the news will show Sterling in handcuffs. But tonight, in the quiet of my office, I feel something I haven't tasted in 5 years. Peace. The battering ram hits the door. At 6:03 a.m., my phone lights up with the alert. I'm at my office. I never went home. I wanted to be awake for this moment. FBI executes search warrant at suburban home. They don't name Sterling yet, but I know. I asked for the courtesy notification. I sip coffee and watch the live helicopter feed. My childhood street looks tiny beneath the overhead drone. Black SUVs, agents, windbreakers, neighbors clustering in robes, recording like it's a holiday parade. By 7:30, local news cameras are on scene. I recognize the reporter purple blazer, always thrilled by chaos. She narrates while agents haul out boxes, hard drives, filing cabinets. Excellent television. Sterling's Mercedes is nowhere in sight. I zoom in. Meredith stands on the steps, hands over her mouth, mascara streaking down her face. An agent speaks to her. She shakes her head, frantic. It's the same melodrama she's always performed. Except, no one empathizes this time. My second monitor shows the next door feed. 53 comments and climbing. Screenshots of Preston's deleted confession shared again and again. Links to the Veterans Fund investigation. The schadenfreude is dense. Did you see the FBI? Finally, my cousin is a disabled vet. Disgusting. Always knew that family was shady. I close the browser. Their judgments don't matter. At 8:15, Meredith's sister calls. I silence it. Then Mom's book club president. Silence. Then someone from the country. Club. There is no reputation left to defend. Miller texts at 9. Subject not at residence. Vehicle located downtown. CPD notified. Downtown Chicago. My building. I stand, walk to the window, stare at the skyline. Somewhere down there, Sterling is driving toward me, desperate, delusional, believing I'm still the daughter who comes running. My intercom buzzes at 9:47. Miss Clark. There's a Sterling Clark in the lobby demanding access. Should I send him up? I open the lobby camera feed. He looks wrecked. Shirt untucked, hair wild, eyes raw from rage or tears. He's jamming the call button over and over, shouting into a silent speaker. Miss Clark. I'll handle it. Call building security in Chicago PD. Trespasser refusing to leave. I switch to intercom. He startles when my voice fills the lobby. Mr. Clark, I say evenly. Security and CPD have been notified. You have 2 minutes. Adisan, please, you have to fix this. I'm your father. I opened the PDF my attorney sent this morning. Federal indictment. Shoe pages. My name under victim-witness.ir. Drop it to his phone. He pulls it out, hands trembling. The color drains from his face as he scrolls through the charges. The FBI is tracking your phone's GPS, I say. I suggest you leave. He looks up. For a moment, I think he might break. Instead, the old rage flares. You're destroying this family? He screams. Everything I did was for you. Sirens grow louder. Goodbye, Sterling. I disconnect and watch him bolt out the doors. He gets 2 blocks before the squad cars corner him against a boutique storefront. The takedown is clean, efficient. Hands cuffed behind his back. A detective reading him his rights on a public sidewalk while tourists slow down to record. My phone rings. Agent Miller. We have him, she says. Preston was arrested 20 minutes ago. Your mother is being questioned. We're offering her a cooperation deal. The evidence you gave us? Rock solid. Transaction logs, wire patterns, the smurfing, the Veterans Fund theft, it's more than enough. Add identity theft and your testimony? Airtight. I sink into my chair. My coffee is cold. The grand jury meets next week, she continues. Expect indictments within 2. Your father's getting multiple federal counts. Your brother money laundering and conspiracy. Your mother will face reduced charges if she cooperates. Thank you, I manage. Miss Clark. She pauses. You did the right thing. When the call ends, I open the ledger I kept for 5 years, every payment I made for a lie. I select the entire column and press delete. Gone. Just a blank cell where a burden used to live. I close my laptop. Outside, Chicago breathes on without pause. Traffic moves. People walk. The sun climbs. And Sterling, finally, is in handcuffs. My intercom buzzes. Miss Clark, the police have removed the individual. Anything else? No, thank you. I dump the cold coffee and brew a fresh cup. I still have a 10 a.m. account review and an 11 a.m. team meeting. Life doesn't stop. The ledger finally is balanced. The federal courthouse smells like polished wood and anxiety. I sit 3 rows back as Sterling shuffles in, wearing an orange jumpsuit that hangs off him like regret. He doesn't look at me. Preston stares at the floor. Meredith isn't here. Her plea deal forbids it. 6 months. That's how long everything took. Depositions, plea negotiations, sentencing. 6 months of sleeping through the night for the first time in years. The judge calls my name. I walk to the podium. Veterans fill the back rows, their faces carved by years of service and betrayal. News cameras blink red. I read my statement steady, clear. Your Honor, I didn't lose a father. I lost a liability. For 5 years, I paid $192,000, believing I was helping my family. In truth, I was covering my brother's gambling debts, while my parents pocketed the rest. They forged my signature. They lied. And when I uncovered the truth, they tried to ruin me instead of facing consequences. I fold the paper. The sentences are delivered. Sterling, 5 years in federal prison. Preston, probation, felony record, endless restitution. Meredith, house seized, relocated to state-subsidized senior housing. The gavel falls clean and final. 3 weeks later, I'm on my dock, a hot mug warming my hands as the sun rises over water that belongs to me. The deed arrived yesterday. My name alone. Addison Clark. No more forged bills. No more phantom debts. The cabin is modest, quiet, honest, and mine. I open my journal pages filled from months of therapy with Dr. Morgan, unraveling decades of narcissistic family patterns. I write, love isn't measured in dollars. Duty doesn't mean doormat. My phone buzzes. A text from Mr. Henderson. Congratulations, senior forensic consultant. Well-deserved, a promotion, a raise. Work that matters, helping other people escape financial abuse. A bouquet arrived last week from Linda's son. You saved my college fund. Thank you, chosen family. A concept I'm finally learning. I close my journal and watch the lake glow. No anxiety. No checking my bank balance. No waiting for the next crisis forged in my name. For the final entry, I write. For years, I balanced their books. Now I've balanced my life. I was never the debt. I was the asset they couldn't afford to keep. I set down the pen. The ledger is finally irrevocably balanced.